Hi everyone, Christina Fugazi, Council Member District 5, coming to you on YouTube. So those of you that don't have social media can still access my Council Members Digest. Today I'm going to be talking about tomorrow's meeting. So that's Tuesday, September 15th, 2020. Our meeting will be 11 items on consent, 3 items of new business, and 2 items of public hearing. So the first item on consent has to do with approving our council minutes, followed by 11.2, which is an amendment to our contract with El Concilio. So El Concilio is handling the census count for the city of Stockton. Right now, we have about just over 60% of all districts reporting. The top district reporting is District 1 up north. The lowest reporting district is District 5 with just over 50% reporting. So El Concilio is who we contracted to put that out there, asking for an additional $97,961, putting the total at over $422,000 to get this census done. Now, this census is directly attached to the federal dollars we receive for schools, roads, sidewalks, housing, public safety, any number of things. So if you haven't filled out your census, please do. If you know people, talk to them, ask them if they filled out that census, because we only do it every 10 years. And this helps us identify how many people are actually living in Stockton. Item 11.3 is a cancellation of the Williamson Act of land we set aside. It's the Sanchez-Hogan project land that we set aside when we did the Delta Water Supply project, which is in north Stockton. It actually is north of 8 Mile Road, right off of Lower Sacramento Road. So we have now expended that time, and we are eligible to cancel that contract. Moving on to 11.4, it's a purchase agreement for medical and pharmaceutical supplies, equipment, and related services with the National Purchasing Partners League of Oregon Cities in the amount of $390,000. It's a cooperative agreement for 3 years with 3 one-year extensions, each at $130,000 a year. Item 11.5, which is our next item. I have to get to that page, sorry. So this is a termination of the San Joaquin County Regional Fire Dispatch Authority. So it's a JPA between Manteca, Lodi, Lathrop, Stockton, and then Tracy joined us. And the city of Stockton was paying 66% of the annual operating costs for this JPA because we, of course, have the most calls for service. But now that we have our own dispatch center and we do our own call processing, we do not need to be part of this JPA any longer. So when this current agreement expires in June of 2021, we will no longer be a part of it. We will no longer sign another agreement. We'll be terminating or canceling our involvement in this JPA. 11.6 is a contract with the Alpine Helicopter Service out of Woodbridge, California, to provide mosquito and vector control over our wastewater control facility. So they will come out. This is a 5-year contract with them for $363,000 to come out and do our regular spraying for mosquito and vector control, which is very important. We don't want things, obviously mosquitoes lay eggs in water. That's how they survive. And we need to make sure that we nip them in the bud before they get out of control. 11.7 is rejecting. It's recommended by staff to reject all the bids for the Thornton and Davis Road sewer pump station rehabilitation project. So we need to go back and look at it because none of the bids met the engineer's estimate and relook at that and then put it back out to bid. 11.8 is approval findings and ratify final expenses for the emergency bypass pumping and repair services. This is along March Lane, and this is a contract with Rain for Rent Inc. of Stockton and Pipe and Plant Solutions Inc. of Oakland to do the sewer maintenance for the holes and pipelines along, like I said, March Lane. It's in the amount of $237,174.40. 11.9 is a professional services agreement, and this is a 3-year agreement with Hatch Company of Loveland, Colorado, to provide water utility instrumentation services. So again, 3-year contract, $82,145.61. Item 1110 is on-call environmental services for the downtown fuel tank removal leak assessment project. So this is a $150,000 contract with Advanced Geo Inc. of Stockton. 1111, some of you are going to be very happy with this. This is using SB1, so the transportation funds from the state in order to do sidewalk, curb, and gutter repair program. And I have the list right here. And all the yellow that I have marked are in District 5. So this is a list of 133 sidewalk locations, and District 5 has 54 of them. So we have quite a few. I'm looking forward to this. I notice there's a couple sidewalks that I've reported that aren't on the list, so I need to find out where they are. Like at Rose in Yosemite, it's a crumbled mess. Well, we know that. So if you have a sidewalk location that the sidewalks are cracked or the curbs or the gutters, please let your council member know, or go to Ask Stockton. You can put it on there yourself. Get it on the list so it can get fixed, because we want to fix these things, okay? So that was item 1111, and that contract actually, just so you know, it's $1,045,560 with FBD Vanguard Construction Inc. out of Livermore. But these are funds that we're receiving from the state via the gas tax, SB1. So let's get it fixed. Let's go on to new business. So 14.1 is the community choice aggregation feasibility study. So what is the CCA, community choice? So the city of Stockton is looking at creating its own energy via something like a solar farm, like putting out solar panels. So this is looking at what the cost would be in order for us to build one and provide electricity to our residents. Kind of like we provide water through the Delta Water Supply Project to our residents. But if you remember, with the Delta Water Supply Project, that came with a hefty price tag, several $100 million. And so that ultimately gets passed on then to who? The residents. So I'm interested to see. This company that we're hiring has done many of these feasibility studies. I hope they don't just take another city's name out and put our name in. I will be asking that question, of course, because it has happened before. Anyway, this isn't costing the city anything to do this study. We received a grant, so it's $92,750 to complete this study, and hopefully it's something that the community can support if you think it's the right thing for us. Okay. Item 14.2, so we have hot teams. What are our hot teams? It's the homeless outreach training team, and it's a combination of different departments that are going out. I requested that this be on the agenda because I want to know more about it. How's it working? You know, are people accepting help? And those that aren't, why aren't they? And where are these people from? And how did they end up where they are? I mean, I know the people that I've spoken to. I know that many of you out there have spoken and work with the homeless. So I want to know how our hot teams are doing. And I really want feedback from them. What do they need? What is it that we could be doing differently? Because it doesn't feel like it's getting any better. And I know that they're working really, really hard. So we need to find out what's going on. 14.3, that is our 2020 state and federal legislation program. So this is when we go to Sacramento and we have our ask, and we go to Washington, D.C. and have our ask. So for the state, what we're looking at is, of course, getting our fair share here in Stockton, the 13th largest city in the state. Also for getting funding and policies for revitalizing Stockton's downtown core, affordable housing, workforce housing, homeless funding, protect our Sacramento San Joaquin Delta, and then also still pushing for a CSU campus. For the federal government, just a little thing to let you know, we received a $20 million grant from the federal government for the Diamond Project, Stockton Diamond Project. This is where the BNSF and the UP transect. It's the busiest area for locomotives in the state. There were only 2 grants given to California, and we received one of them. And you might say, well, 20 million isn't enough. We have funding from other sources. So this is going through ACE Regional Rail, which I happen to be the chair of, and through SJCOG. And so I'm super excited. Thank you to everybody who worked really hard on that. Other things we're looking at, obviously, is enhanced public safety, transportation and infrastructure, like that 20 million I just talked about. Providing assistance and resources to distressed communities, which is Stockton, and then legislation and regulation that preserves local autonomy. So as you know, here at the local level, that's when you can really see what's getting done, and we need support for that. So that is item 14.3. Now on to our public hearings. There's 2 of them. The first one has to do with our policy that supports urban ag, so the Food and Agricultural Action Plan. Now, some of you in this city really want chickens. Well, we're going to be talking about chickens and what you can do. So farmers markets, being able to sell the food that you grow on your land here in the city, that you're not out on some farm. But I know I have a lemon tree, I have an orange tree, I have a persimmon tree. I mean, there are people that are doing ag right in their backyards. I'd love to have chickens. They are a lot of work, though. I had a chicken get dropped in my yard from a hawk just yesterday. It came from a neighbor. But hey, eggs, fresh eggs, there's nothing like them. So that's item 15.1. We're going to be looking at amending the Stockton Municipal Code. So all of you chicken lovers out there, this one's for you. Item 15.2 is a zone amendment at 4th and Center and El Dorado. So if you're going south and you down Center and you see where it then becomes El Dorado there on the corner of there at 4th, there's a vacant lot, and it was residential low density, and we're looking at changing it to commercial general. Okay, that's a very busy thoroughfare. I don't know if anybody would want to live on that corner. Kitty corner from that, or actually not kitty corner, but across the street from that is actually a methadone clinic. Just saying. So that is our agenda. One more thing I wanted to point out to you, if you haven't been following, is that we had a Measure A meeting last week. I'm going to do a video on that, just kind of breaking that down. And speaking of Measure A and all of our committees, we have tons of vacancies. tons and tons of vacancy. Well, not tons, because ton is, 2,000 pounds. But we have many vacancies on our boards and commissions, in particular in District 2. If you happen to live in District 2, Vice Mayor Wright's district, he has really been looking for people to fill key positions. And so if you're interested, please apply. It's on the city website. A lot of people, they like to complain online, on social media. Here is your opportunity to jump in and be a part of the solution, okay? Instead of just always pointing out the problems. We know we have problems, but let's work on the solutions. Together we can do this, okay? So Christina Fugazi signing off. Show up, stand up, speak up. Hope to see you virtually on our meeting. I can't wait till we can open them back up to the public, but you can still send in a message. You can reach out to your council member. Many different ways for you to be involved, and you can apply to be on our boards and commissions, okay? So have a wonderful Monday and rest of your week, and I will see you all hopefully soon. Bye-bye.